welcome to the elevated start at Sigulda in Latvia. It's the final weekend of the World Cup season before we head to World Championships, and Sunday is skeleton for the women and the two-man bob. European Championships beckon as we get into the final run of the women's skeleton competition here. Martin Haven, and alongside me, Austin Florian of the USA. And the battle for the Crystal Globe, as well as the battle for glory here, involves some of our regular frontrunners.
Yeah, it became way more interesting than we thought it would, based on the fact that Jacka finished in 9th first run. She needs to be top 8, I think, to clinch it. So if she picks up one spot, she should be good to go. But way more interesting than we thought, with Tina there not stoked with her first run, and Janine also about 4,400s back from the lead of Nikitina, but Janine also putting on a very good run. It's tough when you get out pushed by 3,700s by Elena Nikitina, but she put down as good a run as she could.
Janine looking a little happy with her run, but the happiest bunny in the hutch, I think, with a start record and a track record, Elena Nikitina.
Yeah, if you go start record, track record on the way down, no one can really beat you. But she put down a good run. The Russians know how to drive this track. It's basically their home track, and if she can just put it down with clean enough, she'll take this race.
Yeah, Nikitina took 500s off the start record, but she took 7/10 off her own track record. So she leads by 4,400s. The battle behind, Flock and Herman 300s are behind. Don't count out Gilardoni or Julia Kanakina or maybe Renata Kutsina. And Jacqueline Lurling in 9th place. Right now, the Crystal Globe literally hangs by a thread. The top 20 sleds go through, and that means that Min Wang of China does get a run. She was 21st at the end. Endi Terauda of Latvia beat her, going 12th fastest, but without her number vest on, and she was disqualified as a result. So it will be the top 20 that go through without the Latvian local hero. And everybody making final preparations to warm themselves up. There's Jacqueline Lurling, and she finished in 5th place in last year's race here. She could not match that pace. She's behind this young lady, Renata Kutsina, behind Julia Kanakina, Sophia Griebel and Kim Meilman. She's going to have to overhaul at least one of them to stop this woman, Tina Herman, taking the World Cup Crystal Globe. And just a little sneak preview. As they are now, if no positions change, Lurling and Herman will be tied exactly on points. And I don't know if there is a tie-break, and if there is, how it works. If more wins for Jacqueline Lurling than for Tina Herman.
No. For Tina.
No, they've got, for Tina Herman, might nudge it in her way. But she'd be, in fact, it's Jacqueline Lurling and Janine Flock who would be tied, and Janine doesn't have a win and Jacka does, so we'll wait and see.
Anything can happen.
Yeah, and probably will.
With this track, absolutely.
Final women's skeleton run of the regular season, and Wang Min of China, after 9th fastest start, ended up in 20th place. And her coach, Su Sha, with the sled. 19 years old in her first ever World Cup race. She's a long, rangy athlete. It's ideal for skeleton. And 5:12 just goes a fraction quicker.
Almost an identical start from her. Didn't end up in the second run, but through the DQ, ended up getting a second run in her first World Cup, and it's always a big feat to accomplish. But Chinese have a bit of runs on this track this year. They're all pretty new sliders, so we'll see how consistent they can be and put together some good runs.
Well, she was 9th fastest at the start. She had good speed early on, and then it all started to come a little unraveled here. This is a little more controlled than her first run, but that big skid is going to really bury her.
Yeah, pretty wild bottom of the track. From 11 down, it's a little bit messy. Might be a little bit slow of a run for her, but it's a top 20 either way.
53.36 compared to 53.13.
Quarter of a second down, but first World Cup. Can't be too disappointed with the top 20.
Well, she's had all the drama, hasn't she? In the race, then out of the race, then because of DQ for one of her rivals back in the race.
Quick turnaround.
And then, turns your head a little.
Yeah, when you only got 30 minutes to prep again for the second run, it happens pretty quick. With a big height off the end of 11 and a head that really unsettles you into this bottom section and makes 13 even tougher. and then 14 and brings you into this long straightaway where you want to do nothing, be doing nothing but going straight, and it makes it that much more difficult for you to do so.
Well, she's only done 6 official IBSF races before now, so this is her 7th race. She's already in the World Cup. So welcome to World Cup, Wang Min. Next up, Kimberly Bos of the Netherlands. Now, while Wang started 5:13, 8th fastest, Kim was 5:27, 18th fastest, and she tied for 18th place with the USA's Megan Henry. She's been struggling all season for fitness. She caught the flu that everybody's had as well, so it's been a pretty uphill struggle.
5:24 for Kim, a little bit faster start, getting back towards where she can be. But again, this is just kind of a rebuilding year for her and getting more experience on the tracks and keeping that World Cup spot, more importantly, for the Netherlands. But she'll be looking forwards to the next 2 years and the last 2 years of this quad. But she's putting together a pretty solid run as of right now, and got some really good speed, 91.8. That's the faster than we've seen after the first run, where the fast speed was Janine at 91.7. So she's carrying some good freight right now, and the ice is probably faster as well.
Yeah, day's warming up, so like yesterday, probably getting a little slicker.
14.5, great speed for her.
Good looking run for Kimberly Bos now. She may well move up 2 or 3 spots. It's all very tight from 5 down to 20. 52.29 run.
3 up. Almost a second faster than her first run.
52.29 in the first heat was 2nd fastest. That was Janine Flock. That's how much quicker that is.
I think she had a way better drive, A, and B, I think the ice is way faster. It's less humid than it was earlier this morning, and you can see in the ice that it's shinier, and there's more speed in it, less frost on the ice. So,
okay, you know that sensational track record from the first heat, 7/10 inside the old track record.
Wait, we might see another one.
Yeah. We're only 4/10 away from it. We've still got 18 athletes.
Might see 1 or 2 more, maybe. But I think Kim
heck
might
of a
stay in
run.
this spot for a bit.
Heck of a run from Kimberly Bos. So how long will she be in the leader's box? Down to Megan Henry, tied with Kim off a 5:15, 10th fastest start. Lightest athlete in the field. Weighs about the same as an 8th grader, probably, I guess. As John Morgan always used to say, 80 pounds ringing wet. So a very light athlete means a very heavy sled compared to her rivals. She is still one of the faster athletes at the start.
Yeah, she had a not a great start for her first run with a 10th fastest. She's had a couple top 5 starts and I think a top 3 as well. But this is not a ramp that suits her well, kind of short and flat. But 5:09.
Ooh, that's good.
5:09, a couple hundreds faster, 600 faster than her first run. So she'll be looking to clean up some spots, and maybe she'll be able to pick off Kim and pick off a couple more spots as well.
Hit 3 to 4. The wall comes out to you there from the right side, doesn't it? It's so hard to avoid on the skeleton sled.
Yeah, it's because of 3. 3 is a pretty tricky corner. It's hard to get around it cleanly. 90.3, she's down on speed with Kim. She's in the red already now, but if she can lock it up, she may be able to stop the bleeding a little bit.
That great helmet livery being worn away off the chin by the ice. 2300s back, 1:12.6 to 1:14.5 of Kimberly Bos.
Yeah, down on speed. She's not going to be able to pick off Kim, but hopefully she'll be able to pick off a couple other sliders.
Okay, so 52.77 for her, and that is still 3/10 better than her first run. So, again, you know, when the track changes with the weather, you know, you'll see it in the Daytona 500 today, always chasing the weather. You're chasing adjusting your line, your thinking. You can't do much to adjust the sled until you're on the ice, and then it's too late.
Yeah, you kind of have to prepare ahead of time for what's going to happen. She did a very good job with that hit. When you get that hit out of 11, you kind of just got to accept it and be with the sled, not fight it. And it keeps the sled moving straight and takes all that energy and puts it into the corner 12.
I love you, Meg. Who was that?
Oh, that's Andrew Blazer. We can hear him through the booth, too, not just on the speakers.
Yeah, well, we are only 2 feet from the track. Next up for Italy, Valentina Margallo. She was in 17th place after the first heat. Valentina did not race here in last year's World Cup. 10th World Cup start of her career. Look at the black tape. Look at where it's been scraped away right by the visor. That's from the first heat here.
That's from getting buried.
That's
from
how
getting your
much
head buried.
You bury your head.
Yeah, you see a lot of athletes have paint missing on the front of their helmet.
Yeah.
Athletes have tape there to protect the paint from...
And we talk about it scraping the chin piece away, but basically that's at like nose height, not chin height.
5:00.
Flat. Hello.
600 faster than her first run.
All right, I'm saying start record's going as well. The start ramp is slickening up, as is the track.
Just like the rest of the track, it looks like the frost has gone away, and the track crew's done an amazing job of getting this track race ready again for the second run. It's less humid, and we're going to see some more speed in the start ramp, potentially maybe even in the 480s and maybe some mid-51s for the downtimes. But Valentina's putting together a pretty solid run right now. She's still in the green.
She's gone from 4/10 up, though, to only 600s up, and a long skid down there.
She will drop down in at this next split.
Yeah, that's as uncomfortable for the time as it is for the body. And you see from the low line there in 16, she's got no speed left, 52.64. Well, that's what makes her so quick, is our Dutchies on the TV crew, obviously. It's not her sneaking into the booth for toasted sandwiches, but, you know, she'll feel the love anyway from the Dutch
She'll
TV
probably be in
crew.
here soon enough getting some sandwiches, right?
Yep. Valentina Margalio then slips a spot into second place.
But as expected, we're probably going to see Kim Boss pick up a couple spots because of her second run was so much better than her first run. Valentina didn't put together a bad run, though. She went a bit faster than her first heat, but she's still pretty new. She's a newer slider, and she's got some learning to do. But overall, pretty good run from her. And corner 15 is a tough corner. It's tough to get out clean.
And despite that little moment there, she's still 3/10s quicker, 3400s faster than her first run. So Valentina Margalio goes into warm-up and get changed. Next up is Kimberly Murray of Great Britain, first starter in our field of 26. That's always the rabbit in the headlights, isn't it? Let's see what she can produce on the second heat. And again, trying to guess where the ice is going compared to where it was in the first run.
Absolutely. 5:11. Quicker start again. I think we're going to see quicker starts from almost everybody in the field.
And immediately that changes corner one because you're getting there faster.
A little bit, yeah. And it's all about whoever can adapt the best to the changing track conditions and read what's going to happen down the track and adjust correctly.
She had quite a skid, 1 to 2. Still 2/10s up, but she was nearly 3/10s up. And this is the critical bit for speed. You've got to hold your line here as much as you can.
Yep, you got to keep the sled moving straight without skidding it, while not putting too much input into the sled, because that will disturb it and potentially skid it as well.
Late off 15, took the skid and the hit, and at the line she's going to be behind, but only by a hundredth of a second. Well, a 52.45 compared to a 52.92, so getting on for half a second quicker than her first heat. That's an improvement. It's not quite the Kimberly Boss improvement, but that is a big step up for Kimberly Murray. So 2 of our 3 Kims are now nose to tail first and second.
Yeah, a little wild off the exit of 12, but taking that hit and taking the bounce into out of corner 11, but taking the hit into 12 and just accepting where it's going to put you, it'll just help the situation as best you can.
Well, thank you for being here, otherwise we don't have a race. So Kim Boss is still our race leader for the Netherlands. Kim Murray in second place as we have our first 5 sleds down. Megan Henry lies in 4th place. Teammate Savannah Graybill now at the line for Team USA. Second and deciding heat, race 8 at the BMW IBSF Women's Skeleton World Cup at Sigulda in Latvia. And alongside me in the booth is her teammate Austin Florian. Well, we saw quicker starts from everybody so far. Savannah started 5:32 in the first heat.
And she gets across with a 5:38, a little bit slower. She loaded a bit earlier than the first run, so it's definitely not the most ideal way.
Yeah, feeling a little bit of fatigue in the legs maybe. I wonder if she's got a little bit of a niggle today, because she did load a little earlier. So now she's got to do more work with the drive, which suits her well. 1700s behind the flying leader, Kimberly Boss of the Netherlands.
big hit before 13. That's been an issue for her all week. She knows how to handle it, though, because she's been doing it all week, which she's already down. With a bit of a flop on the exit of 15, and she's already down behind Kim Boss. Kim Boss will pick up another. Hopefully Savannah doesn't fall too many spots, down to 5th.
Wow. So 5th place at the line behind teammate Megan Henry by 0.03 of a second. In a lot of ways, this is quite good preparation for the World Championships in Altenburg for you guys in 2 weeks, because that's a really busy drivers track, and this is a really busy drivers track as well.
Yeah, they're both very technical tracks. They're both have a lot of elements in them, and a lot of places to go wrong. Very similar attitude of the track itself, where you're not going to have 4 clean runs. So it's important to kind of get your mind moving fast for a track like that, like Altenburg and like Whistler was last year as well.
Yeah, the 3 World Championships in this quad are the 3 toughest drivers track: Whistler, Altenburg, and next year in Lake Placid. So, yeah, they're going to get you ready for Beijing, which we gather is going to be quite the awesome track.
Absolutely. Looks pretty fun as well.
Next up, Laura Dees, tied to the 100th with Savannah Graybill in the first heat. They were both in 14th place, so we had 2 ties outside of our tie for 10th. On a driver's track like this, you don't expect necessarily to get so many dead heats, but we had 3 in the top 20. 5:08, that matches her first start. She doesn't find any extra performance on the start ramp, though.
No, but she has a pretty good one, too, and a great top section. Little tap before corner 4, but that'll happen. If you've been doing it all week, you know how to handle it, and it's not going to cost you too much to the people around you. This section is all about just getting the sled as fast as you can and the most speed into corner 11, so that you have the best chance of getting through these corners and carrying it down to the bottom of the track.
2/10 ahead.
A lot of height off the exit of corner 13.
Yeah, 2/10 ahead from the first heat, and that's all evaporated. She's going to go down as well. It's another victim for the Flying Dutch woman. And this run, Laura Dees, that one big late exit, that one has absolutely crippled the speed. 3rd at the line with a 52.
Another one for Kim Boss.
Yeah. Kim Boss could end up easily in the top 10 off that run. So Laura Dees comes across the line in 3rd place behind Kimberly Boss and her own teammate Kimberly Murray. So Brogan Crowley, the 3rd of the British girls today, just missed out on a 2nd heat in her first ever World Cup start, but huge height now. I mean, she was right up by the woodwork on the exit, which is an indication that she had the entrance to the corner so wrong. She was so late.
Yeah, she didn't suppress the beginning of corner 13 enough, and it really gets it too far around, and you just swipe off the end of that corner, and it's a pretty tight transition, and it can be kind of painful sometimes.
Okay, who is going to see themselves in the leaders box now? Is it going to be Kendall Wessenberg of the USA, 13th place after the first of our 2 heats? And her advantage over Kimberly Boss is 24/100 of a second. Kimberly Boss and Kim Murray just 100th apart, so let's treat them as one person. Essentially, you're going to be 1st or 3rd, really, aren't you?
Now, you could tie for each one.
Well, yes, absolutely, you could.
It's Sigulda, anything can happen.
Yes, that's very true. This is a little bit like through the back of the wardrobe in the Lion, the Witch, and the Wardrobe. 5:37 getaway for Kendall Wessenberg.
100th quicker start than her first run, and a great exit 1 to 2.
And again, keeping the rhythm nice and smooth through here. Avoids the hit from 3 into 4, but losing a little bit of speed to Kim Boss.
Yeah, that top part's all about being smooth. So you're going to have to let the sled roll and let it run. Got great speed, just the same speed Kim had into corner 11, but she's already in the red, and she's already down by a little bit.
Yeah, but it is a fraction.
Big height off of 13, though, and that's going to cost her a lot. She won't be able to get that back. She's down on speed, and a bit of a flop. Sorry to say, it's probably over. She won't be able to get Kim at this point, but hopefully she'll be able to mitigate it and only drop a couple spots.
Well, she's going to join Megan Henry and Savannah Graybill. She is the 3rd of the US sliders. Megan Henry, who was in 3rd place among the US girls after the first heat, ends up ahead of her two teammates. So Megan Henry 5th, Savannah Graybill 6th, and Kendall Westenberg 7th. Like Lake Placid, but it isn't Lake Placid.
Yeah, she's not going to be happy with that because she knows exactly where that went. That's a big scorpion there, and that's more time than you'd want to lose in any corner, but that's where it all went wrong, and that just makes the rest of the track that much harder to keep clean.
Yeah.
And you lost so much speed in that corner that it doesn't.
And that's all part of it. The knock-on effect is you're getting to the corners so much slower that you don't have the control that you're expecting, and so it just amplifies the problem.
That a bit too, and then just going into that uphill section down 5K doesn't help either.
Yeah, for sure. Well, next up is our three-time junior world champion in women's skeleton. She won it once for Germany, twice for the Czech Republic. Anna Fernstetteva with Jeff Payne holding the sled off the ice. Started 25th in our field of 26. So Anna's key strength is not this bit, it's this bit.
5:48 first run. 200's faster. It's still not going to be one of the top pushes, but she can drive the sled better than almost anyone down the track.
Yeah.
And we'll see what she can do. See if she can lace together a little bit better of a run. She had a little bit of issues in 13-14, so she can carry a bit more speed through that section.
21st World Cup start for her, her 8th as a Czech Republic slider. She's in the red.
Great exit of corner 11, though, and a great control of 13.
And she was kind of there or thereabouts for most of the track, and then the speed here into 16 is what really kept her alive.
1:13.4. She's still down about a K to Kim Boss, though, so she probably won't be able to claw this back.
Well, the gap's coming back down from 3 to 2/10. 52.77. That sounds familiar. That's exactly the same time that Megan Henry set on her second run. So 52.77 compared to 52.82 for Anna Fernstetteva. A fraction better, but not the massive improvement that we saw from Kimberly Boss. And again, Kimberly, let's just reiterate that, 19th in the first run, and her second run was as quick as the second fastest run ever on this track.
Yeah, Kim put down an absolute burner second run. She's gonna be holding that for a while, and she'll move up a bunch of spots. She'll likely crack the top 10, and hey, she may even throw a wrench in the World Cup overall with that.
Well, is she gonna Kaisinger her way into the medals from 19th?
Hey, she's only got 3 more sleds to Jacka. If she can stay ahead of Jacka, that helps. That helps Tina's cause.
Now, another one of the huge stories in the first heat was the performance of our second-time World Cup starter, Agathe Bessart from France. She made her debut in La Plagne, and she was training in St. Moritz, didn't race there a couple of weeks ago. She did come here in the Europa Cup. She came here pre-season. She does know the track, but oh boy, a top 10 run in only her second World Cup.
5:44 or 5:41. Her first run was a 5:44. I will say that she probably had one of the best drives in the entire field the first run. She definitely knows how to drive this track, and being with the start deficit, knowing how to drive the track definitely helps. She'll have a good shot at knocking off Kim Boss off the lead, but she's going to have some big speeds. She does. That's the fastest speed into corner 11 of the day that we've seen so far, but a bit of a skid out of the corner.
That is fantastic, but she's only 600s now ahead of Kimberly Boss because of her low starting speed.
Back.
And the problem now, 1:12.3 is not enough. She's not going to hang on to her tie for 10th place. Now, where is she going to end up? Third or fourth at the line? Third at the line, behind the two.
Kim Boss.
And again, we're talking about there's Lelda Prejulena, who's been helping with her coaching here. That's not a bad thing to have a Latvian coach.
Not at all.
You know, I've heard of worse ideas in Latvia.
We've got a couple Latvian coaches in this field right now.
Yeah. We're talking about Kimberly Boss because she is our race leader. Don't forget, right behind her, still 100th behind her, is Kimberly Murray of Great Britain, who was only in 16th place after the first heat, and they are rising like a cork together towards the top 10.
Yeah, God had a slightly messy 11, 12, 13, and some weird energy out of 14 into that long straightaway and into Kreisel. So all of that added together and kind of knocked her back where she was ahead going into and had a great speed into corner 11. We might not see somebody beat that until we get down to the top 4, top 3 in speed.
Well, she's third with 10 to go. Her previous World Cup start at a home track in La Planche, she was 14th. She's going to beat that on this track here in Sigulda. So Kimberly Boss and Kimberly Murray, the 1-2, 1900s ahead of Agathe Bessard, who is 400s ahead of Anna van Stettever. So the Kimberleys are both looking at top 10 runs from the mid and low teens. And yeah.
Kim having a great time.
Yeah, the boss dance going on there.
And here I am saying she's got a building year, and she's moving up already almost 9 spots.
Listen, you know, she's been very honest about it. In the last few races, it was just being on the start line just to get any points she could. Whether she made the cut or didn't, it wasn't about that. It was just about getting some points. Now, she could well end up adding a hat load of points to that.
She'll get a couple points now.
Yeah.
1 or 2.
Well, more than she would have got for winning a Europa Cup race here. She's already ahead of 13th place, which is the equivalent of a Europa Cup win. So Kimberly Boss of the Netherlands is our race leader, but we now need to we now need to look at what happens with the future of the Crystal Globe. And it all hangs in the balance for Jacqueline Lurling. She's our points leader. She has been since day 1 of the season when she won in Lake Placid. But she's only been off the podium once this year, and that was a slightly off-form 4th place, ironically, on her home track in Winterberg.
And this would be an absolute, this would throw a huge wrench into the mix.
Talk amongst yourselves. I'm just going to go and have a little, going to get the computer fired up and see exactly when her last non-top 6 finish would have been, because at the moment with her in 9th place.
I don't know if you got enough time to look that far back.
I can do anything. Kimberly Boss of the Netherlands, our race leader. 10 down, 10 to go. The final World Cup skeleton race of the season. Jane Channel on the line. In the commentary booth, Martin Haven and Austin Florian of the USA. And Jane tied in the top 10 after the first heat with Agathe Bessard, France. Our current leader was only 19th in the first heat, but her second run is the second fastest.
4:99. She had the second fastest start in the first heat with a 5:00 and only the second slider ever, women's slider ever, to make it under the 5 second mark in the start. So we'll see what she can do. See if she can have a better run. She had a little bit of a messy 11, 12, 13 first run, so we'll see if she can clean that up and maybe pick up Kim Boss, be the first one to knock her off.
This is a great looking run so far. She was clean 3 to 4 all the way through the labyrinth.
Late into 12, but not the end of the world. You can still make it work. Gonna have late height here.
Oh, a huge scorpion.
We'll see how much it does. She still has half a second in the bank, but she could just go dead late in the corner 15, and she's down about 5K to Kim Boss.
She was dragging her toe all the way down the straight into 15.
We might see her drop behind Kim right here.
Yeah, she was only 200s in front, and she's 42 hundreds back. And that was that toe drag all the way down the longest straight in Christendom. And then she's gone from 6900s up at the first split to 4200s back. That cost her over a second.
Yeah, that's not what you want to see. She, it all started right here with this exit of 13. She let the front of 13 fly way too much, and you can see her kicking the ground with her left foot on the right side. Big old scorpion right there. Not what you want to see. She had a great run going up until that point. That's not a great thing to see. She lost about 9/10 of a second in the last 15 seconds of the track. And going into corner 15 as late as she did, it's just gonna ruin your speed even more. But
yeah,
not happy with that one.
Yeah.
Yep.
So many sliders here have two parts of their race. Jacqueline Lurling lying in 9th place. The last time she was not in the top 4 was November 2017. She was 8th in Lake Placid. Her last 9th place finish, February the 3rd, 2017, 3 calendar years ago. And that was in Innsbruck, Austria, the starter glider track. She needs to, at the very least, hold on here and preferably move up to seal the crystal globe.
Yeah, and she's going to have to battle with Kim Boss. She's up 3,300ths right now, but Kim Boss put down one of the better runs of the entire day.
Well, she knows the pressure's on. She's just found 1100ths at the start. But, wow, a hit into 2, a hit into 4. She's only 2700ths up.
Yeah, she hasn't, the lead has not grown, and it's stayed pretty stagnant there. We'll see here what her speed is. 91, she's down almost a K to Kim Boss, and she's lost a little bit of her lead with a hit into corner 11.
She needs to be absolutely perfect.
A little bit of late height off the exit of 13 and a hit in the straightaway. A 10th, she's not going to be able to hold this, I don't think. She's down about a half a K to Kimberly Boss.
It's the
with
crystal
an okay
globe
exit
or
and a
not
skid.
here. If Kimberly Boss is the leader, then Jacqueline Lurling needs a miracle from the final 2 sliders.
Oh,
she
wow.
finds it at the line.
And she found a 1/10 of a second in the bottom of the track.
Oh.
That's impressive.
This is a little bit like Sam Moritz, where for the 4-man title, Francesco Friedrich in the first heat was 7th. He was going to lose the title, and he managed to find one more spot in the second heat. Jacqueline Lurling may have done enough there.
Yeah, that definitely helped her pushing about a 10th faster second run. If she didn't do that, Kim would have had her all day long.
So Jacqueline Lurling leads. Kimberly Boss in 2nd, Kim Murray in 3rd, with 8 to go. And according to my maths, if nothing changes in the positions after the first heat, Lurling will be tied on points with Janine Flock. But Lurling has more wins this season if it comes to a tiebreak, which it may. I don't know that rule. Kim Marmans of Belgium next up. So let's see where else we're going, because we've still got medals to decide.
Yeah, and every slider from here on out has a say in the overall winner, which is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
When we have 8 sleds left in the second run.
5:19 first heat, 5:06 in the second. She's found 1300s at the start.
Now that's impressive.
Did they just raise the start and angle the ramp a bit? 4/10 up on Jacqueline Lurling.
Might be a tailwind now.
Well, Kim had a really nice looking first heat, didn't she? Really controlled 11, 12 and 13, 14, 15.
Pretty good looking 13 there. A little bit of late height, but she keeps the rolling smooth. And she keeps the sled moving straight. Great exit of the straightaway. She's
What,
got
is it
4/10
National
in high
Latvian
speed right
Kimberly
now.
Day here? What's going on? Kim Boss, Kim Murray, now Kim Marmans.
Yeah, she'll probably lose a little bit, but she'll be in the lead when she comes down.
She's
Wow, she gained.
4,400s.
Man,
There's not many tracks anybody beats Jacqueline Lurling by 4,400s.
52.07. That is the second fastest time ever on this track.
Wow. Just wow.
Putting down a burner. Pushing faster doesn't hurt either.
Yeah, finding 1300s at the start, you know, that's 3900s at the bottom, give or take, and she's just absolute. She found 5800s of a second on her first heat, which was good.
Yeah. I wish I could find 1300s every second run. That'd be pretty awesome.
Wow, and 5800s by the line. Yeah, that's just ridiculous. Nobody beats Jacqueline Lurling by 4400s without winning the race.
Yeah.
She's not going to win the race from here.
You never know.
Oh, I don't know.
How many spots Kim Boss jumped?
I know. It is Kim Day. We've got a Kim first, a Kim third, and a Kim fourth. We've still got 6, 7 sleds to go.
3 Russians and 2 Germans.
I think we may be peaking too soon. Here we go.
I don't
Right,
know.
Sophia Griebel, 7th after the first heat.
I just call this a good race.
This is a genius race. This place really produces good racing.
Hope
Did
they bring us
last year,
back here
but
more
this
often.
year it's knocking it out of the park. So here we go for Sophia Griebel. Started 5:22 in the first heat.
She gets over with a 5:16, 600ths faster than her first run.
But
sticking with the trend that we're seeing with everybody, at least 500ths to a 10th faster than their first run start times.
10th slower than Kim Malmans at the start, so she loses her first round lead, and that start speed disadvantage continues to haunt her. She's now going to drive herself ahead of Malmans, but if she doesn't, and if she drops behind Jacqueline Lurling, then that almost guarantees Lurling the Crystal Globe, no matter what else happens. Almost guarantees.
She's holding it right there. She's back a little bit, but she's
hasn't got the
bleeding.
speed.
Yeah, she's not gonna. She's probably gonna drop behind, but she'll likely stay ahead of Jacka.
Okay. Ooh, I don't know. Ooh, closer than 200ths of a second ahead of Lurling. Ooh, and a grimace from the coach. And that means with 6 to go, Jacqueline Lurling is third. She is still only 9th. She is not going to win the Crystal Globe right now, necessarily.
We have does that mean we have a virtual tie right now for the Crystal Globe?
Yeah, between Janine Flock, who lies second, and Jacqueline Lurling, who currently lies third with 6 to go. According to my maths, and never trust my maths, as any motorsport fan will know, we could have an absolute dead heat in terms of points. 16:24 for Lurling for 9th, 16:24 for Flock for 2nd.
Thanks, you're the best.
Kim Malmans is still our race leader. See, now all weekend I've been thinking, I wish I'd looked at that. Kim Malmans, best ever World Cup result, 5th position in Whistler. That's the answer to the question that was on everybody's lips. Renata Kutsina, 6th after the first of our 2 heats, and 3rd of the 3 Russian sliders.
Got away with a 5:17 first run, and she comes away with a 5:18 second run.
Ooh.
So sticking away with the, not going with the trend of everyone pushing faster. May have had a little bit of a mistake, but.
Now she again had a really nice looking drive. A real kind of knees and ankles apart sliding style. Really reminds me a lot of Katie Eulander of the USA.
Yeah, pretty similar build to Katie. Very different driving style though.
Yeah.
Schneider-based sled to a Bromley-based sled. It's a bit of a different style, but again, Renata knows how to drive this track pretty well.
And she's only 100th of a second off the lead. 700s back. What's the speed?
113.8. She's down.
Not enough.
Likely not going to get Kim. We'll see if she can stay ahead of Jacka and Sophia.
Well, she needs to lose basically half a second to be behind Lurling, and she doesn't.
In a second. Kim picks up another. It's Kim day. I think you're right.
It is. Well, 52.07 for Kimberly Boss, 2200s quicker than Janine Flock went in the first heat. 2200s, and Janine was 2nd in the first heat. So, as you said, Kimberly Boss has just set the 2nd fastest ever trip down this track. Renata Kutsina, empirically, not a bad run, but good runs aren't quite enough. Legendary runs are what's going to decide this race. We've seen one already from Elena Nikita in the first heat. We've seen another 2 now from Kimberly Boss and Kim Malmans. They have set the 2nd and 3rd fastest ever runs down this track. This is ridiculous.
This is amazing.
And this is not our first time here in a decade. We were here just last season. You know, so the performance change is ridiculous with more knowledge for these athletes. 5 to go. Keep your powder dry, Martin. Yulia Kanakina next at the line. She was our start record holder until Elena Nikita blasted out a 4.90 in the first heat.
4.93. Almost a 10th faster for Yulia for the 2nd run, 900ths.
And that's faster than she has ever pushed on this track. She held a track record from 2016 with a 4.95 this morning.
And that's her PB.
She's gone better than that.
2nd fastest push ever on the track. Can't wait to see what Nicotina's going to do.
Now, can Kanakina drive herself into the medals? She's had one World Cup medal at Altenburg last year, a very similar track.
Putting together a pretty clean-looking run right now, losing a little bit of time.
Yeah.
But she's going to have a pretty comparable speed to Kim Milemans right now. A bit of a flop and a skid. We'll see if she can hold it. It's going to be pretty hard to throw that away.
3/10 in the lead. She's going to take the lead. But how far up the order does a 51.96 get her? That's 900ths off the track record. So that is the second fastest run ever down this track by a woman.
Oh, this is getting interesting.
Just when you think, okay, who's going to ramp it up again? Somebody ramps it up again. 51.95. And she was a little disappointed there. She didn't get the start record, I think. That's what the coach was telling her. Well, listen, you know, that's the battle within the battle. If you can't beat your own teammate, you're never going to win. That's the first person you have to beat.
Yeah, look at the Dukers right now.
Yep.
That's been the case for the last 15 years.
Yeah. Well, like Martin said, when he got to the ramp, he saw Thomas had held his position. He said, I knew we were getting gold. Him or me? That was the only question. Oh, Yulia. Look, it's been a big weekend for Russia already here. Are we going to get another Russian gold medal?
Yulia guaranteed a top 5. That's probably her best on the season. She's been not pushing as fast this season up until now. So
comfortably her best of the season. What about this young lady, Marina Gilardoni?
Got away with a 5:10 the first run. See if she can stick with that trend of getting a 10th faster on the start.
She's had 2 top 10 finishes this season, 2 top 5 finishes rather, 5:05. She gets 500s quicker in the second push. It's all coming together as we get towards the World Championships for the Swiss girl.
Putting together a great-looking top section. A little bit down on Yulia, but she's pulling back that little bit of a push lead that Yulia got from the second fastest. The fastest speed into corner 11 that we've seen, and a great exit of corner 11.
Now she's in the green over Yulia Kanakina. Kanakina's best result this season.
Right here.
Kanakina's best result this season, 10th place.
115 speed, highest speed we've seen today, and a solid exit of corner 15.
She's really hanging on to it. Is she going to get a new track record? No, 51.85.
Oh, that ties the track record from first run.
Off a 1,500 slower start than Elena Nikitina. So that's actually a better drive than we saw from Nikitina. She has just tied the fastest ever run down this track.
Now, that could throw something else into the overall as well, because Marina was only 400ths behind Tina first run and only 7 behind Janine.
Oh, boy.
And if Marina overtakes either of them, that's it for Jaka. Jaka gets it.
Her 67th Skeleton World Cup race. Her best, a silver medal in Lake Placid back in 2016 before she got injured. She takes the lead from Yulia Kanakina and Kim Milemans, and 3 to go. Who's writing this stuff? Give them a big pay rise. Tina Hermann of Germany did not look happy with her first heat. She's only got 400s in the bank over Marina Gilardoni. She's 300s behind Janine Flock. It is Jacqueline Lurling, Janine Flock, Tina Hermann, and Elena Nikitina battling for the Crystal Globe. Hermann trying to win it for the second time.
Tina with a pretty similar start, a 5:20 to a 5:21 for the second run, so we'll see what she can do here. She had a pretty good drive. She was a little frustrated with her bottom section, I think, but if she gets that and cleans that up, she's going to have to overtake Marina.
Yeah, she is. Gets nudged away from 3 to 4, 2100s back. That gap will continue to grow. 2600s back, 91.6.
2/10 down for Marina.
But that was good speed. And it's down in the fast portion.
Big height. Oh, that's not going to help.
Gap's coming down. How close is she going to be? 140.
Oh, bounce off the rollover and rolls it.
She's crashed.
She's
and
crashed.
That is it. She is not going to take the lead. How far will she fall?
That is going to guarantee Janine the overall globe. Sorry, not Janine. Jackie. Jaka wins the overall globe right there.
No, because it's not with Tina Hermann, the tie. The tie... Oh, no, you're right.
She gets 8th place.
Means Lurling up.
Jaka is in 8th place right now.
Yes. In fact, Jacqueline Lurling is 6th right now with 2 to go. So, oh, Tina.
That is a heartbreaker. But that just shows you how tough this track is. Even the world's best can make even simple mistakes that can end it.
Oh,
see, she bounces off the ice rollover, gets her height way too early and comes out very early, and then gets picked up again on that exit pressure, and that flips her.
And there's nothing you can do. Centrifugal force is just pushing you out there. You can't drive against it. You are too light. You don't have the control. How she managed to wrestle her way back onto the sled.
Willpower.
Look at this as she comes over the brow.
That's not what you want to see. In going uphill, that is the last thing that you want to see, and it just does not help your cause whatsoever.
Oh. Jacqueline Lurling was asking if she's okay. Is she hurt? No, it's just, yeah. Okay, here we go. 2 to go. Janine Flock, second after the first heat. 44 hundredths off the lead. She needs the most unbelievable run here. 5:20, 700ths quicker than her first run.
Yeah, I actually did the math wrong. If Janine takes over the lead, she could
Then Lurling needs sixth, yes. If Nikitina wins, then Lurling needs seventh. If Janine wins, then Lurling needs sixth, which means that Nikitina has to crash out to give Janine the win and Lurling the Crystal Globe, and then it's on a tie break.
A little bit back right now. Going down one of the best speeds we've seen, though, into corner 15, and a great exit. It's only going to help her from right now. We'll just see what she can do in this exit Kreisel.
Oh, Marina Gilardoni's in the medals. Marina's going to get the silver. Marina is going to get the silver medal. 52.02, 2700s better than her first heat. Normally, that means that you can't lose your place, but Janine Flock is going to be, I don't know. We're gonna. Somebody else can do the math. I'm starting to lose it now.
I think there's too many things that have happened. We've lost track. However, I do think that Jaka has clinched the overall globe.
Yeah, because if the positions didn't change, if Janine finished second, she, oh no, because that was when Lurling was ninth. Second and ninth, third and seventh. They're getting closer, so yes, I think Lurling...
Yep, Lurling has clinched the overall title.
Yeah.
Now it's just up to Nikitina and see if we can see another start record and see if she can close.
So Nikitina can win the house here. She can take the start record, she can take the downtime record, and like Nadezhda Sergeyeva in the women's bobsleigh, she can become the European champion. And for the Russians, that is a very big deal. Very big. Elena Nikitina looking for the European Championship gold. The start record is 4:90. She goes, of course she goes under it. It's that day. Of course she does.
And a great looking 1-2. That's only going to set her up for success in this top section. A little bit of a tap, but she can handle it.
She's taken a 10th off a 4-year-old start record held by her teammate.
She's
10th.
87 hundredths of a second in the lead right now. Down almost a K&a half though, and she's lost 15 hundredths.
She's still 3/4 of a
bit of height there,
ahead.
But she can handle it well.
55 hundredths up. She needs to crack
down
off
by
15 to
3K.
give this away. She's not going to win by the 81 hundredths that Martin Stu caused yesterday, but she is going to win. She's our gold medalist, and she is the European champion for the 3rd time. 2013 in Innsbruck, 2018 in Innsbruck, and 2020 in Sigulda. So a starter's paradise twice, and her home track is the 3rd. And Jaka finishes in 8th, with Janine in 3rd and Tina Hermann in 15th. Your new European champion, your race winner, is Elena Nikitina of Russia. boy.
That was one of the most exciting races I've ever seen.
52.02, exactly the same downtime as Janine Flock. So, just unbelievable. So, 51.85 is the new record. And she has the start record, the track record, and the win in the European Championship. And that is Nikitina's third gold medal of the season. Boy, she is having a big year, isn't she? Last year's World Cup champion, rather, hands over the crystal globe back to Jacqueline Lurling. That was a heck of a race, wasn't it?
That was crazy.
Yesterday you were in a heck of a race. We've had 4 unbelievable races already so far this weekend. Elena Nikitina by 3400ths over Marina Gilardoni, who matches her World Cup best ever result 4 years on from Lake Placid 2016. She gets another silver medal. Janine gets the bronze. And the World Cup Crystal Globe goes to our season's champion, Jacqueline Lurling of Germany. Now it's time to calm down a little. Okay, one more to go. Marina beaming like a Cheshire cat as she takes silver, Janine the bronze, Julia Kanakina in 4th, and then all the Kims in the world. Kim Malman's in 5th, ahead of Renata Kutsina and Sophia Griebel, Jacqueline Lurling in 8th, Kimberly Boss 9th from 19th, and Kim Murray 10th from 16th after the first heat. And they had, I think, respectively about the 4th and 5th fastest runs ever down this track in their runs. So fantastic stuff from them.
Yeah, and Julia as well, moving up to 4th from 7th, right? After the first round?
Yeah. So there is Janine Flock, and she will be in 2nd place in the standings. And Elena Nikitina moves up to 3rd as Tina Hermann crashes out and drops out of what was 2nd place coming in here. Now, I didn't do the arithmetic for what happens if Tina Hermann finishes wherever it was she finished, 15th. Well, Elena, very, very happy bunny. She's been struggling with that coldy, fluey thing for the last 2 or 3 races, and she was just bouncing around like a newborn kitten all week long in training. She's on home ice. She knows this track better than any other, and she sure proved that. Austin, what a result.
Yeah,
what a race.
This was an amazing race to watch, and what a track to end off on for the final race of the season with the title on the line.
Yeah.
And we saw the title almost change hands a couple of times.
And listen, whether you like this track or not when you're sliding it, everybody loves being here in Sigulda as well.
Great town, even better track, great track crew.
Our final World Cup race of the season, and what a topsy-turvy finish. Just grabbing the crystal globe. Jacqueline Lurling, our World Cup points leader, is our World Cup champion from Janine Flock. And our race winner here, Elena Nikitina. A disastrous crash out on the final run of the year for Tina Hermann. Drops her out of crystal globe contention and out of the top 3. So, what a dramatic finale. And setting the track alight, Elena Nikitina, a new start record and track record in the first heat, and an even faster start record to claim gold in the 2nd heat. Austin Florian, she really is the class of the field here on this Russian track in Sigulda.
Yeah, they've all learned, I'm assuming they've all learned how to slide here. They have a lot of runs here before Sochi opened, and this is basically their home away from home.
Yeah, and since Sochi opened as well, they always use the track pre-season, post-season. They test here all the time. It's a lot easier to get to from the other European venues than Sochi is, and so they have hundreds and hundreds of runs here. Elena, Julia, all the others learned to slide here long before Sochi was being built and opened. So the European Championship, Tina Hermann finishes last. That's it. That's all there is. And there is your overall podium, your European Championship podium as well. So a silver medal for Marina Gilardoni. She took a bronze in the Europeans behind Janine Flock and Tina Hermann in St. Moritz in 2016. Now she's got a silver medal in the Europeans. But there is no four-time championship win for Janine Flock. She is still one behind Anya Huber in the European Championship gold medal chased. That's it for the regular season. Next time we see the skeleton sliders in action will be 2 weeks from now in the World Championships in Altenburg. And among them will be Austin Florian and our winner here, Elena Nikitina, along with all the others. Thank you for joining us. Thank you to Austin for his words of wisdom. We'll see you for the two-man race coming up at 13:30 local, 11:30 GMT this afternoon. Until then, from me, it's goodbye for now.